In this video, I'll go through setting up a sponsored product ad, what you should consider bidding, and then how to review and adjust those bids to get the most out of your Amazon ads. So one of the best ways to boost your sales on Amazon KDP is by using ads. But a lot of people ask me how much you should be bidding to get sales. In this video, I'm going to take you through my entire bidding strategy in an in-depth walkthrough of what I bid, how I set up my ads, and then how I optimize them for success. So as you can see here, I got over 20,000 orders on Amazon KDP last year. And without Amazon ads, I wouldn't get anywhere near that amount of orders. So ads is really important to help you to get ongoing sales for your books. So to start off, we're going to go to my Amazon ads dashboard and look at the amount of money I've spent in the last month. So this is a view across all of my different Amazon ads platforms. So that's UK, USA, Germany, Canada, and Australia in March of 2025. So you can see there I've spent $1,456 across all of those different locations. I've drove 606 orders from 4,756 clicks at an ACOS of 23.55%. The ACOS is incredibly important because that's how you know whether your bids are profitable or not. I created a video all about ACOS as well as calculating your break-even ACOS for your books. I'll link that in the corner now, so make sure you check that out if you're not familiar with ACOS on Amazon. But back to my ads, you can see that I generated 606 additional orders through Amazon ads last month. And if we come to my Amazon KDP reports dashboard, I generated 1,733 orders. So a little over a third of my orders came through my Amazon ads. And if we look at my royalties, I received $3,807 through my book orders. So whilst that spend looks quite high, taking it off of my estimated royalties, I still received around $2,400 in profit through my book sales in March. Now, for me, Amazon ads is incredibly important to help me achieve those results. And I'm going to share with you my Amazon ads bidding strategy. But as a quick overview, it's step 1, research, step 2, launch, and step 3, optimization. So before we get going with our ads, there's a few things that you need to know. This will help us determine what we want to be bidding and the cost per click we want to be achieving on our ads. So in order to achieve that, you want to do the following things. The first thing is working out your general conversion rate. So if I look at my Amazon ads data for March, I know that from 4,756 clicks, I got 606 orders. And if we open the calculator, all we do is the clicks divided by the orders to work out our conversion rate. And on average, last month, from every 7.8-ish clicks, I was getting an order. Now, there are a lot of things that will help or hurt your conversion rate. The main thing is how good your book is and how much it stands out in a niche. So if you've got a pretty generic book in a very popular niche, your conversion rate's likely to be lower. But if you've got a book that really stands out there and it's better than anything that already exists on Amazon, your conversion rate is likely to be a lot higher. But based on my experience of years and years of running Amazon ads, you want your conversion rate to be at least 10%. That's getting an order every 1 in 10 clicks. That's what I'd advise you to be aiming for with your ads. The next thing to know is your royalty per sale. So to know that, all you do is go onto your KDP bookshelf and go to the pricing section of a book. So here's one of my recent books that I've created. And from a $7.95 list price, the royalty is $1.93. So I know that when I sell this book on the US marketplace, I get a royalty of $1.93. Knowing that allows me to know whether my ads are going to be profitable or not, because if it's going to cost me $1.50 to get a click, and I know that it takes me on average 7.8 clicks to get a sale, that's going to be a very, very expensive ad for me. So just to do a very quick bit of maths, we take our royalty of $1.93, we divide it by our conversion rate, which is 7.8. We know that on average, if we can get a cost per click of below 25 cents, that we're going to be profitable on Amazon ads. So that's a figure that ideally you want to know for every book, just so you know if you've priced it effectively and if it's realistic to run profitable ads for that book on Amazon. So once you know that and you set up your ad, Amazon will give you some suggested cost per clicks. And so we're looking here at this Dogs Unleashed colouring book. And you can see that for colouring book, it's giving you these suggested bids. And then for other keywords, it might be slightly higher. And if we add our own keyword here, let's say dog colouring book, it will give us a suggested bid here as well. So that's a great starting point for your Amazon ads. As we worked out, we want our cost per click to be about 25 cents in order to be break even. But Amazon ads is telling us we need to be bidding 73 cents, 63 cents, and 58 cents in terms of their suggested bids. So once you know those three things, you can start creating your ads. And there are three main different types of ads that we can be creating. They are product ads, keyword ads, and auto ads. And for me, I want to be bidding different amounts on these types of ads. Product ads are great for driving additional sales. But for me, I try and keep these at or below that break-even ACOS. So I don't really want to be paying more than, say, 25 cents for the product ads for the book that I just showed you. For me, unless you're driving a lot of sales, the product ads don't really drive that much in terms of additional organic sales. However, they can start to appear in the also bought section underneath other books. So if we take this number one bestseller in the colouring books category, for example, scrolling down, there's this frequently bought together section. So if you can drive a lot of sales via product ads, you might start appearing here on some listings, which can help boost your sales. But keyword ads are where I like to bid a little bit more. These are where I focus the majority of my time on Amazon ads, because if you can get sales through specific keyword search terms, there's every chance you can rank organically for those search terms on Amazon. From what I've found, the more sales that you can get for certain keywords and the better the conversion rate, the higher you'll generally move up the search results for that keyword. This is how you can generate ongoing organic sales for a long time. So let's say with this dog colouring book, we managed to get a ton of sales through that keyword. There's every chance that when someone comes onto Amazon and search for dog colouring book, that our colouring book will rank there on the first page. So not only are we getting sales through the ads, but we're also getting ongoing organic sales as well. So it's a bit of a risk-reward strategy with those keyword ads. Let's say I'm getting a sale at 50 cents cost per click. That's about double my break-even ACOS. But it doesn't really matter if I'm also driving those organic sales as well, which is going to drive the overall income for that book up. And therefore, even though we're spending a little bit more on ads and we're bidding a little bit higher, we're also generating organic sales on top of that. So that helps bring it down into a more profitable area. And then with auto ads, I tend to think these as casting a really wide, broad net on Amazon. They're fantastic for helping you to gain insights because the auto ad is going to take all of your metadata and keywords and all those kind of things and run keyword ads, product ads, category ads, pretty much anything that you can imagine. But overall, it's going to generally cast quite a wide net with the search results. So I try and keep these on quite low bids because it might try and target things like adult colouring book, which unless I get hundreds and hundreds of sales, I'm very unlikely to rank for that keyword. So I'd only be spending a lot of money on that keyword string because it's very unlikely I'm going to rank organically. So overall, I like to keep my auto ads and my product ads bids quite low, but the keyword ads I'll bid a bit higher. Now, when it comes to the bidding strategy down below, there are three different ways that you can set this. So you've got the dynamic bids up and down, which increase your bids by up to 100%. You've got the down only, which will bid the maximum that you set it at and only bid downwards from there. Or you've got the fixed bids, which will bid exactly what you set. So I always tend to use the down only bidding strategy. If you want to get more impressions, more clicks and more sales at the beginning, the up and down might be correct for you. But overall, I like to be quite responsible with my ad spend and I'm more focused on keeping that ACOS at a good level rather than going big and spending a bit more money at the beginning. So I like to tick the down only setting. So with everything we've gone through, we know that a bid of around 25 cents will be break even for me based on my historical Amazon ads data. That can obviously differ depending on the niche, the type of book, how good the book cover is, all of those kind of things. But overall, it's a good indicator to start with. So I know that if I'm doing my bid here, if I could get a sale at 25 cents, I'd be break even. So if we put them in at 25 cents, you would see here the suggested bid is a lot higher on every single one of these. So you could launch at this, but the likelihood is you're not going to get any impressions or any clicks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter them again and I'm going to go higher. If I'm getting sales at that, it's not going to be directly profitable. But if we can rank for some search terms, that's going to lead to organic sales in the long term. So I don't mind bidding a bit higher for these keyword ads. Whereas with the product ads, I would likely bid 30 cents and below to try and keep the cost per click below that 25 cents. So that's how I set my ads up, and that's how I know what to bid for my Amazon ads. But we're not finished yet. The final and probably one of the most important steps is optimization. After you've set an ad up, leave it for a few days or a week, basically long enough for it to start serving and driving some data. And then you want to come back and see how it's performing. There's a few things that you want to be checking when you're reviewing your ads. So we want to be checking the impressions. So this is the first and most basic thing, but if we're not getting impressions, there's no way we're going to be getting sales. So the impressions is a great indicator of whether you're bidding enough on your ads. Then there's the top of search impression share. For keywords ads, this is incredibly important because if this is below 5%, you're likely not quite bidding enough on your keyword ads. But then if it's at say 90+%, you could definitely afford to bring the bids for those keywords down. And then I also check the conversion rate. So all you need to do for those is make sure that on this customized columns section, you've got the impressions, the top of search impression share, and then your clicks and orders as well. So if we do the year to date on this ad, you can see here the top keyword here has an impression share of 5.34%, and it's got over 34,000 impressions. So that's driving a lot of impressions, and the top of search impression share is over 5%. If I wanted to be a bit more aggressive with the search term, I could definitely afford to increase the bid by a few cents. But at the moment this year it's got 190 clicks and 33 orders at an ACOS of 26.2%. So for me, I know that that ACOS is around break even, which is why I'm not bidding more on this keyword. But if we take the clicks, which is 190, and divide it by the orders, which is 33, we can see the conversion rate on this book is 1 order in every 5.75 clicks. So that's telling me that this book is good quality and is converting very well. So that's a very good search term to keep going and increase the bid on if I want to a little bit. However, this keyword down here, we've had 6 clicks and no orders. The top of search impression share there is below 5%. So I've got 2 options with that. I either need to increase the bid or turn it off. So let's increase the bid by 2 cents and see if I can get some additional impressions and additional clicks with that search term. Then this next one underneath, I've only got 59 impressions, but I've got 4 clicks and 2 sales. That's likely because this is not searched that often. And that's what I'm getting from that 73.68% top of search impression share. So I can afford to take that bid down a little bit because I don't need to be bidding that high. So that was an example of an ad that was converting really well. And here's an example of an ad that isn't converting well. So for one of the main keywords here, I've got 15 clicks and 1 order. So that means, I've got limited data on this ad, but it's taking me 15 clicks to get an order, which is double my average for my Amazon ads. So that's telling me that maybe the keyword's not right, maybe the book's not good enough, maybe it's not different enough than what's already out there, but it's not converting quite as well as my other books. So with this one, I've got 2 options. Because the ACOS is so high, I need to either decrease the bid, find some new keywords, or try and improve this book. Whether that's adding additional pages, whether it's improving the front cover, whatever it is to improve that book to try and increase the conversion rate is what I'll have to do. So that's how I set up every single Amazon ad for my book. I do a little bit of research up front to try and figure out how much I should be bidding. I then set up the ads and normally bid a little bit higher than I'm comfortable with because then I'll go into the optimization phase, and then what I'll do is I'll bring those bids down if they're above that 5% top of search impression share. This was a bit more of an in-depth guide than I normally create, and I hope that it was useful. If it was, drop a comment down below and let me know what you liked about this video and what you'd like to see more of in terms of the Amazon ads content on this channel. So to get really good at Amazon ads, it takes some time, takes some testing and learning, especially to figure out things like what your average conversion rate is, what keywords are working well for you, and the types of books and the types of niches that can be really profitable for your ad campaigns. But hopefully this video was useful and it's given you some tips and tricks that you can take into your Amazon ads campaigns to help you to sell more books at a better cost per click. Thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.